Is it me, or is the Minibot evolution dominating all of us right now? Hi everybody, it's your friend Vash, aka Triqqerhappy77 on Instagram, and welcome to Minibot-Palooza. And away we go! Since the days of G1 Transformers, us 80s kids could always count on our parents' compromise on our need to walk out of the store with some kind of transforming toy saying, you can get one of these little $5 ones. Who doesn't love a Minibot? That's why right now, all the craze is on the Season 2 Captain of the Seas Deluxe Minibot Sea Spray. So if you haven't heard, a Deluxe Sea Spray was just announced. This is the first Sea Spray figure we've gotten since the Legends class Sea Spray and Titan's Return. This new Deluxe Sea Spray is a new mold and scales with the other Deluxe Minibots like Beachcomber, Warpath, and Cosmos. And he gets a blaster! You know I like all my Transformers to come with blasters. Now, I haven't seen him in person, but from the photos, he looks amazing. He has more articulation, more detail. I can't wait. Now, he comes on the new retro card, which is cool. It's a throwback to the card the originals came on back in the 80s. They had released a Bumblebee on a retro card. He was the same mold as the Netflix Bumblebee. They changed the color from that yellowish orange to a more cartoon-accurate yellow. But wait, while we're here, remember when that Netflix Bumblebee was all the rage? He was a Walmart exclusive and very few people got their hands on him. I lived in New York City at the time and we didn't have Walmarts there. I had to beg my brother in Virginia to check the Walmarts there. And under protest he did, and then he found one. That was my Bumblebee for a long time. But now we have Studio Series 86 Bumblebee, so... But getting back to the retro cards, a Deluxe Class Gears was released on a retro card too. You remember Gears? Short, grumpy, miserable? He was the same exact figure as the previously released Legacy United Gears. This time though, he has a different head based on the original G1 toy, not the cartoon. So slight differences with the retro carded toys. Sea Spray though, this is the first Deluxe for this character. He seems to have come in his toy colors, so it'll be interesting to see if he gets released in another line in cartoon accurate colors, which if he does, I'll have no choice but to buy it. Because, you know, cartoon is law. Now don't get me wrong, I'm definitely looking forward to having a proper size Sea Spray in my collection, but this Legends class Sea Spray was one of my favorite of these Legends class figures. They really did an outstanding job on this guy, and I'll miss him as I toss him into that huge toy graveyard in the corner, never to be heard from again. Well, unless I do a Minibot-Palooza Part 2 video. And while we're here, Legends class Beachcomber was a seriously well done figure also. I'm sure it was tough to make Deluxe Legacy Beachcomber look and feel better than him, because that little guy was awesome. And since the announcement of Sea Spray, we got a sneak leak peek of a new retro card Brawn, also with his original G1 toy design head. I mean, womp womp for me, because I already have Studio Series 86 Brawn, which is cartoon accurate, so I'll be passing on this one. But it looks like a really cool figure if you wanted it to look like the toy from the 80s, which I know a lot of people do. Now, there was a leaked listing of a couple more upcoming Minibots. We haven't seen pictures, nor has there been like any confirmation yet, but the list included Powerglide, Tailgate, Outback, Windcharger, all Legends class Minibots from the Prime Wars lines that are still awaiting the Deluxe class upgrade. A Deluxe class Swerve was also announced, but we never even had a Swerve figure in Prime Wars, War for Cybertron, or Legacy. I'm using a Mech Fans Toys MS-17 Spiali. I think it's pronounced Spiali. I'm using him as a placeholder until an official Swerve is released. Now, of all the announced Deluxe Minibots coming up, hopefully sooner than later, I'm really looking forward to Powerglide. In the cartoon, he was a complete cornball, but he had personality. And even though he wasn't as big as the other Jets, he could always hold his own. I mean, we all think about how silly it was when Astoria Carlton Rich fell in love with him in the episode from Season 2, The Girl Who Loves Powerglide. But the important thing is, he took on all three Coneheads, Thrust, Dirge, and Ramjet, by himself. And we'll just gloss over how Spike was hating on Powerglide hard in that episode. But once we get Powerglide, that'll be all of the Season 2 Minibots upgraded to Deluxe. Now, let's talk about Windcharger. The only thing anyone ever talks about is RC dragging his dead body across Autobot City in Transformers the movie. He did have some shiny moments in Seasons 1 and 2 though. I thought it was really cool seeing him and Brawn taking on Megatron and Soundwave and having like zero fear about it. Windcharger is the only Season 1 Minibot that hasn't been upgraded to a Deluxe figure. I mean, look at him. Hashtag out of place, am I right? I can't wait to get him in Deluxe size to not only complete my Season 1 Minibot, but he will complete my Season 1 Autobots as a whole. I should sit here and hold my breath till they release him. But Windcharger completing my Season 1 Minibots, and Power Glide will be the only one needing an upgrade to complete Season 2. Let's talk about Season 3. Alright, so first and foremost, I know you're looking at the screen like there's a couple of Transformers here that don't belong. Allow me to explain. Wheelie started out as a Minibot in G1. He even got a Legends class figure in Titan's Return. It was Studio Series 86 that made him a Core class figure, which I'm fine with, but I think he can still chill with the Minibots. Plus, I like Core Wheelie. I think he's a good size. I'm hoping we'll get some humans like Spike and Daniel in regular clothes, or at least a better Daniel than the one that came with SS86 Slag. Hashtag, his name is Slag, am I right? But I'd want like Daniel to go with Wheelie, and if we're going to look at that, then like, yeah, if you're going to give us Daniel, give us Spike, give us Sparkplug, Chip Chase, give us Carly, Dr. Arkaville, give us everybody. Oh, Raul, Marissa Fairborn, and who's the guy that was like a space pirate? He was like, he was such a dirty scoundrel. I can't remember his name. All right, so we have Hubcap here, right? I broke my own rule. I know Hubcap wasn't in the G1 cartoon. Was he ever in any cartoon? I don't know. But I had the toy as a kid, and I always said, this isn't Bumblebee? But I was 7, 6, somewhere around there. I was still asking my parents for milk money. So he like made the cut into my collection, which if I were keeping tabs, the only other ones to make that cut that weren't in the cartoon would be Topspin. And if they ever get an official Hasbro release, Beast Box and Squawk Talk I would have in my collection, because they weren't in the cartoon, but I had the toy and I really liked them. So those are the only ones. I know. Dr. Wu has them, but I want an official Hasbro version. And then there's Goldbug. So Goldbug is, as you know, Bumblebee. In the cartoon, he got hurt really bad during the episode The Return of Optimus Prime, and so he was rebuilt by Equinason as Goldbug. Now, as far as the toys went, Goldbug was a Throttlebot, and let it officially be known, I love the Throttlebots. Huge fan of the Throttlebots. Chase, Freeway, Searchlight, Goldbug, Wide Load, Roll Bar. Like, I don't know, I always thought they were awesome, but when I saw them in the cartoon, they were first appeared in Season 3 in The Return of Optimus Prime during that amazing roll call, which I'll leave a link in the comments for the roll call. It was like Protectobots, Transform, Aerial Bots, Throttlebots, Blur, Bumblebee, Steeljaw, and Wheelie, Transform. It was awesome. But I would love to have all 6 Throttlebots. They made a Legends class Roadburn, who's also known as the Throttlebot Chase, but I would just wait for a better version. I wasn't really feeling that one. But I mean, does anybody else care about the Throttlebots, or is it just me? Just me? But then there's 4 Minibots, right? We got Pipes, Pipes was a retool of Huffer. Both Huffer and Pipes were released in War for Cybertron Kingdom, but for some reason, I've always liked Pipes better than Huffer. I like his design, the way the cab sits on his back, his voice, his demeanor, his pipes. I just think he's a better character than Huffer overall. I remember when he was first revealed during a Hasbro Pulse live stream, I was ecstatic. Yes, Pipes! And he did not disappoint. The figure is great. And even though it's the same as that mold, I think his figure is better than Huffer's. Don't ask me how or why, I just do. We talked about Swerve already, or in this guy's case, MFT MS-17 Spiali, but I can't wait to get him just to have Trypticon step on him like he did in the cartoon. That leaves Outback and Tailgate. Tailgate was in Season 3 for about like a second and a half and didn't have a speaking role, but he's a retool of Windcharger, so we know if we get one, we'll eventually get the other one. And Outback, the Minibot with the Australian accent, he had a couple of adventures in Season 3. Now that I think about it, all of them were with Blaster. But he's a retool of Brawn, and I really hope when they release Outback, he's packed with this trusty Decepticon detector. Now, I know there's no such thing, but the Decepticons don't know that. But I really hope to have all the Minibots in deluxe scale sooner rather than later. I mean, they're the living embodiment of the whole small package, big punch movement. But I hope you enjoyed my rant about the G1 Minibots. If you did, hit the like button. And if you didn't, also hit the like button. Which Minibot is your favorite? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you want to keep seeing my rants about G1 Transformers, transform into someone hitting the subscribe button. Thanks for listening to my Minibot rant. We'll be back.